little fox.
The Three Wishes. Once upon a time, there was a poor woodcutter. He and his wife lived very simply. The woodcutter often wished for more money and a better life, but his wishes never came true. One afternoon, the woodcutter was searching for a tree to cut down. All the trees looked too big or too small.
I wish I could find a good tree,
he said. Like magic, he suddenly spotted the perfect one.
My wish actually came true.
The woodcutter raised his axe. Suddenly, a small fairy appeared. "Stop! Please don't chop down my home!" The woodcutter frowned.
I need wood to make money, and all the other trees are too big or too small.
"How about this?" the fairy said. "If you leave my tree alone, I will grant you 3 wishes."
No thanks.
The woodcutter said.
My wishes never come true.
"These wishes will come true," the fairy said. "But if they don't, you may return and chop down my tree." It was getting late, so the woodcutter agreed. When he arrived home, he told his wife about the fairy and the wishes.
Ridiculous,
She said.
"Tomorrow you will go back and chop down that dumb fairy's tree."
She set a bowl in front of him.
"Here, have supper."
The woodcutter looked at his bowl and groaned.
Plain broth again? I wish we had some sausages.
Poof! 2 plump sausages appeared on the table. The woodcutter was amazed.
My wish came true!
Indeed it did!
His wife laughed.
But you used up a wish on sausages! How silly!
The woodcutter frowned.
It's not funny. Why, I wish these sausages were stuck in your nose.
Poof! Now it was the woodcutter's turn to laugh. The sausages were stuck in his wife's nose.
Stop laughing!
She snapped.
I wish!
No!
The woodcutter cried.
Don't! There's only one wish left. Let's try to get these sausages out of your nose first.
The woodcutter's wife pulled on a sausage, but it was stuck tightly.
Let me try.
The woodcutter slowly pulled on a sausage.
Ow! Stop! It hurts!
The woodcutter let go.
Let's put some grease on the sausages. Then they'll slide out easily.
He spread some butter on the sausages. He tried to pull again.
Ouch!
His wife cried.
It's not working!
What should we do?
The woodcutter asked.
We still have 1 wish left!
His wife said.
And I can't live with sausages in my nose!
You're right. I wish...
The woodcutter took a deep breath.
The sausages were out of my wife's nose!
Poof! The sausages lay on the table again. The woodcutter and his wife looked at them sadly.
We wasted the wishes.
The woodcutter said.
At least the sausages are out of my nose.
His wife said. Then she smiled.
And you did wish for sausages with supper.
She began to laugh again.
I'm not eating those. They were in your nose.
The woodcutter laughed too. They were no better off than they had been before, but their 3 ridiculous wishes sure made them laugh.
The Elves and the Shoemaker. Once upon a time, there was an old shoemaker. Although he worked hard, He was very poor. One cold winter night, he sat at his workbench. He began cutting his last piece of leather. There was only enough for one pair of shoes. "Come to bed, dear," his wife said. The shoemaker shook his head.
If I don't sell these shoes, we'll have no money.
"You can finish them in the morning," the wife said. "Please, get some rest." The shoemaker sighed and put down his scissors. In the middle of the night, two little elves climbed onto the workbench. They wore thin rags for clothes and had no shoes. They saw the cut leather and got to work. And while they worked, they sang.
We are helpful little elves. Helping others helps ourselves.
The next morning, a beautiful pair of shoes sat on the workbench. The shoemaker gasped.
Who made these shoes?
"What a miracle!" the shoemaker's wife said. That day, a rich woman visited the shop. She loved the shoes and paid more than the shoemaker had expected. He was able to buy enough leather for 2 pairs of shoes. That evening, the shoemaker began cutting the leather. He yawned as he cut. "Dear, there's no need to work through the night," his wife said. The shoemaker nodded.
I'll just finish cutting the leather.
When the shoemaker was finished, he left the leather on his workbench. He yawned again and went to bed. Once again, the little elves visited the shop. They happily got to work, singing,
We are helpful little elves. Helping others helps ourselves.
The next morning, 2 beautiful pairs of shoes sat finished on the workbench.
It happened again!
The shoemaker cried. "Someone must be trying to help us," his wife said. The 2 pairs of shoes quickly sold. Now there was enough money to buy leather for 4 pairs of shoes. For several more days, the pattern repeated. Eventually, the shoemaker was no longer poor. One evening, not long before Christmas, the shoemaker was cutting leather. "Our fortunes have changed so quickly," his wife said. "I wonder who has been helping us."
Why don't we stay up tonight?
The shoemaker said.
We could see who our kind helpers are.
"What a marvelous idea," his wife said. They hid and waited. Before long, the elves appeared on the workbench. As the elves sang and worked, the shoemaker and his wife whispered to each other. "Those poor creatures," she said. "Their clothes are worn out."
And they have no shoes.
The shoemaker said.
They helped us, so we should help them. I have an idea.
On Christmas Eve, the elves appeared again. When they climbed onto the workbench, they gasped. There was no leather cut for shoes. Instead, there were 2 sets of fine clothes and 2 fine pairs of shoes. The elves quickly put everything on, singing,
We helped them. We did indeed. And they gave us the things we need.
The shoemaker and his wife watched the elves shuffle away. The elves never visited the shop again. But the shoemaker and his wife never forgot their kind helpers.